Hey fans, me Aaron for a comics show. I'm going to talk about comics again. It's a smaller week this week, but there's some books I really liked. The main one, Justice League of America, Rebirth. Rebirth is like the one-shots that come before the issue ones for a lot of these DC books that they've launched recently. And there have been one-shots of Rebirth of these individual characters, except for Lobo. And this is spinning out of Justice League versus Suicide Squad, but you don't really have to know that. All you really need to know is Killer Frost is on the team because Batman wants to give her a second chance after what happens in Justice League Suicide Squad, but they actually talk about that in dialogue, and you got a bunch of cool characters. I love the Ray, I like Ryan Choi, that Atom, Vixen's cool, and Black Canary's on the team, and then there's Lobo. Lobo, seriously, the main man Lobo, and he's funny, he's cool, I dig him. He's kind of in the Guy Gardner role with Batman, where Batman's like, sit down, I'm the leader. But why is Batman putting this team together? He has his story he's telling, which is people need a team of mortals to be inspired by, to be heroes themselves and not gods like this other Justice League, the Jeff Johns Justice League is. But maybe he's putting together a team for a huge battle that he's preparing for that Tim Drake kind of calls him out on in this, in a flashback story. Because Tim Drake, whatever happened to him. This is it's an oversized anniversary issue that's almost all Cassandra Cain, almost all orphan, but there's a backup story with Tim Drake and Batman yelling at each other, and it's pretty cool. But Justice League of America, I'm digging it. I really like this team. I love the Ray, always loved the Ray. Always enjoyed Lobo on a team being a dick, all the way back to JLI, where he punched Guy Gardner, and then Guy Gardner got brain damaged and became kind of a pansy instead of a jerk. And then Guy Gardner got his, Batman had Guy Gardner as a jerk after he bumped his head, and then Lobo hit him and he was back to a dick. So Lobo is he's the main man. He's a dickhead. I like that he's on the team. He might just be on the team to help Killer Frost get her second chance because she needs to absorb heat from organic matter and she doesn't want to kill people or animals anymore, so maybe she'll just siphon off a Lobo who regenerates. Who knows? But I'm excited about it, and the next issue comes out really soon, like in 2 weeks, issue 1. Justice League, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 2. Issue 1 was great fun. Issue 2, there's the fighting with the League versus the Power Rangers. That was cool. Then they team up, and then villains team up from both worlds. And it's classic, crossover fight and team up stuff, but Tom Taylor is doing a great job with it, and it's fun. Moving on to All-Star Batman, Ends of the Earth. This issue 7, it's all Poison Ivy and Batman, but it comes right off of the last issue that's all Batman and Mr. Freeze. There's something that happened there that leads right into something that Poison Ivy, Batman needs her help with. And it's beautifully drawn, and I loved it. I loved it. You get so much dense information and what makes Poison Ivy tick. Why does she do what she does? What does she want for her life? How is this, what is she doing now? And is it all about toxins or not? And it's not. It's cool. It's way cooler than that. So I like what Snyder's doing, going into these villains and really breathing life into them and giving them room to kind of expand to be fully realized characters and not just, the antagonists of Batman. Moving on, Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps. Number 14, St. Walker is back. He's on the cover. You see him. All will be well. I'm really digging this. This issue opens with freaking Space Cabbie, and he looks great. I just saw Space Cabbie yesterday on Just League Action, the cartoon show. But he's an informant for Guy Gardner, kind of the Taxi Cab Confessionals. And then you get St. Walker, the same issue, and I loved it. And also Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, Volume 1, Sinestro's Law, is out in collection, the first Rebirth collection for it. It's basically 8 issues. It's the Rebirth one-shot and issues 1 through 7. So get this, you won't be disappointed. Vendetti's kicking ass on it. Van Sciver's great on art. As always, he's my favorite Green Lantern artist. And the other artist, because it's a book that comes out every 2 weeks, Rafa, he's great too. He's holding his own with Van Sciver. Moving on to Marvel, Running with the Devil. Kingpin #1. This was the one that I was most excited about. I've always loved Kingpin. I liked him in the Brubaker run. I loved him with Jason Aaron in the Punisher Max. I liked his single episode on the Daredevil Netflix show. And this is a lot of that stuff. It's Rosenberg writing it, who also writes 4 Kids Walk Into a Bank and We Can Never Go Home Again for Black Mask. So he's doing a Marvel book. It is crime, which he's great at. And Kingpin is maybe trying to be good, like maybe trying not to be a criminal anymore. It seems like it. That's what he's saying. Maybe. I don't know, but I am enjoying it. So if you like Kingpin, you should get it. So I like Kingpin. I'm sorry. I really think it's Jason Aaron's Punisher Max that made me fall in love with Kingpin, even though he's just a big jerk. But moving on, Inhumans vs. X-Men 4 is out. Lemire and Soul kicking so much ass. Got Magneto on the cover with a bunch of blue energy. So, you know, he's being attacked by a specific Inhuman. And a lot more happens this issue. And I'm ready for the big blow up. I'm ready for them to actually, like, brawl. I'm ready for the brawl. Like, I love that the X-Men outsmarted them. I love that the X-Men got their groove back. I'm excited about the X-Men Gold and Blue and X-Men being heroes again and not just an oppressed minority that's being going towards extinction. But I'm ready for this brawl with Inhumans and just have it out. And finally, Star Wars Dr. Aphra #4 is out. If you are not getting this book and you got the Vader, it's the same creative team as Vader. It's the same supporting characters. They just have the spotlight now. And it's really good. It's a really good piece of Star Wars lore in that same exact timeline, just picking up those threads and going. Moving on to indie books. I mentioned Black Mask before. This book, Black, I've talked about every time it's come out. It's a great concept, but I mean, look at this freaking cover. Look at this cover. It's ridiculous. And I don't know why they didn't write this on the cover, but I mean, come on, that's Honky Kong, right? I mean, that's Honky Kong. That should be the caption. But Black's out, #4. If you want to know about it, just watch older videos where I talk about issues 1, 2, and 3. But I just love that cover too much not to show it. It's hilarious. Steven Universe is back with a #1, and this is ongoing this time, so it's going to be an ongoing series. I don't know if they'll all be one-and-done single-issue stories, but this one certainly was. It was a single-issue episode type story that was resolved by the end, and it was cute and touching and everything you want Steven Universe to be. So I enjoyed it. Moving on from a body-positive cartoon show and a comic to a sex-positive coloring book. This came out today. Oh Joy Sex Toy, the coloring book. The front cover and the back cover has black censor bars not to have any nudity, but I assure you there is nudity throughout. And not only is it tasteful, it's fun, and as I said, sex positive, and just full of charm and whimsy, and just people enjoying themselves, all kinds of people, disabled people, all kinds of body types, all kinds of sexuality, and lots of sex toys, lots of sex toys. So yeah, and it's a coloring book. So I'm sure I'm gonna sell a lot of it, and I really enjoyed flipping through it. I might color some, maybe, but it's out. We have plenty of them. It's called Oh Joy Sex Toy. So awesome. And then finally, I know I talked about my Chew graphic novels that are exclusive with my logo on it. This volume 12, the final volume of Chew. But now, since the artist came through, he drew in like almost every single one of them. He signed and sketched in almost every single one. So now I'm just going to be putting these on eBay, and I'm just going to put them on for regular price. So grab them. I'll put a link to it. Some people have asked, but yeah, he drew in all of them. He's an awesome guy. So that'll be up. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.